this past week. Solomon, welcome to African Cocktail.
Thank you, Ernest, and welcome to you and your listeners to Johannesburg, the city of gold. That's how we call it here. And this is what we call the economic hub of Africa. In fact, Johannesburg is very famous for being the gateway to Africa because, the international airport in Johannesburg receives more passengers than any other airport in the continent. Anyway, but that is arguable. And so, today on South Connect, I'm going to be talking to you about the flourishing democracy on the continent of Africa and particularly in South Africa.
So, Solomon, I hear a lot has been going out there, including the Marikana and Deputy President appearing at the Commission, and there is some disruption in the Parliament as well. Solomon, what's all about that about?
Let me just take you through a little bit more of the background of what really made a lot of news recently in the past couple of weeks. I have to say that I have already reported on the show about our public protector, Thuli Madonsela, the Economic Freedom Fund, which is a new political party led by former ANC youth leader Julius Malema, who made it into, this party is now made into the National Parliament of South Africa. I have also reported on the Marikana massacre that happened in 2012, particularly on the 16th of August in 2012. So, all of these, I'm going to be talking to you and the listeners today specifically about how this report sees this as the flourishing of democracy in this country of Nelson Mandela. So, 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, the Economic Freedom Party, Economic Freedom Fund, beg your pardon, were asked to leave Parliament. This is because the public protector had initially released a report that I reported on, asking the president to pay some of the money that was used for the security upgrade. Because in the public protector's report, she said the president and his family had benefited unduly from the security upgrade at his Ikandla residence. This is a long debate that's been going on in the public in South Africa. And when we went to Parliament during the question time, what this reporter believes as democracy in flourishing democracy in progress, when the president was being questioned by opposition parties or by parliamentarians in the National Assembly, the president did not respond to specific questions pertaining to the public protector's report. In this case, the Economic Freedom Fund, led by Julius Malema, were asking the president to respond to the specific question referring to or pertaining to the public protector's report. And when the president did not respond the way they thought he would, they started chanting. And this now brought the Parliament of South Africa into some kind of dispute because they were saying that until the president had responded to their question, they were not going to leave the chamber. This now led to the Speaker of the Parliament being asked these parliamentarians to be removed from the parliamentary precinct. And that has now sparked quite a bit of a debate.
Solomon, I've always said that this generation of young Africans will do extraordinary things. Think of my very young friend in the UK, Prince Oro, who is at the helm of one of the leading online African online radio stations. I'm talking about youthfulness and great things. There is this young South Africa, age 11, who has been enrolled in the university. That sounds strange, but Solomon, it is the reality.
Indeed, but before I get to this young dynamic South African who is now considered as a prodigy, I will come back to that a little bit later. But let me just give you a little bit more of what this reporter believes as democracy that is flourishing in this country. When in 2012, when miners on the Platinum Belt in the northwest province of South Africa went on what is called a wildcard strike, which is an unprotected strike according to labor relations laws in this country, 34 miners were killed and shot down seems reminiscent of apartheid era South Africa. These scenes have been playing over our television, both actually in this country and abroad, and has been described as a massacre. So what happened was that the President of the Republic of South Africa appointed a commission called the Marikana Commission to look into what actually happened in Marikana that led to the death of 34 miners and 10 other people that included policemen. So what this reporter believes is that the deputy president of the country, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, was summoned by this constitutional body to be able to respond to questions by attorneys. And then if you saw the images on television, you will see that it is a sitting deputy president that is responding to questions. Why? Because our sitting deputy president was a non-executive director of the London, which is the mine where the strikers were demanding for higher wages, better working and living conditions, was responding to commission. At the time when he was involved with that particular mine, before he took up office of the deputy president, he was a non-executive member. So, for me, as a reporter, I believe that this is democracy that is flourishing, because not everywhere in the world you will see a sitting official in the office of a deputy president of a country being summoned by a constitutional body. But this reporter believes that those are some of the elements that as South Africans, we celebrate it as elements that show that this is our democracy is on a good path. And the deputy analysts have come up saying that the deputy president's conduct during the 2 days that he was being grilled by the commission's lawyers, has demonstrated quite a lot of leadership in terms of his part as the deputy president or the number 2 of our country. So, and just getting into your question about the 11-year-old. The 11-year-old is called Daniel Peterson. This is a very exciting story coming out of the continent. And this 11-year-old, I'll give you a bit of a background. And at the age of 14 months, listen carefully, this 11-year-old was already playing drums. But this would be a genetic element that we kind of notice in this 11-year-old story called Daniel Peterson, because at the age of 4 years old, the 11-year-old has been endorsed by Yamaha as a Yamaha endorsed artist. This means that Yamaha is now sponsoring this 4-year-old, and at that age, he's being seen as a prodigy already. At 11 years old, he's gone on to be enrolled in the University of the Western Cape, which is in the Western Cape province of South Africa.
Wow.
Currently studying at the University of Western Cape, and he's gone on to play in several jazz festivals and jazz events around the world. And so for us, I think it is a first in Africa that have an 11-year prodigy. There are several other prodigies on the continent. In this particular case, from the age of 14 months, 4 years endorsed by Yamaha, 11 years being enrolled in university, it's actually some very good news to report from the continent.
Okay, Solomon, thank you so much. How is the weather out there?
The weather in Johannesburg today is absolutely fantastic, but I have to warn you, Ernest, in Cape Town, the cold front has moved in. There's some snow. The weatherman said this morning that the cold front will hit Johannesburg, which is the more central province of South Africa, at the weekend. So at the weekend, Ernest, we are bracing ourselves for a cold front. And then this is Solomon Atah in Johannesburg for South-South Connect, only on African Cocktail.
South Connect, only on African Cocktail. Solomon, thank you for that brilliant package. I must say that I was fascinated with the story of the 11-year-old who has been enrolled in the university. Fantastic. Okay, we'll be right back.